Now, I don't know if white liberals have a savior complex, but I do think that maybe they might have a savior complex. There's a nihilism that comes into play, being very nihilistic about the world, and to feel like there's always a disadvantage. Everybody who is black, there's some level of disadvantage, and one of the difficulties for me is we can't teach our kids. I can't teach my kids that. I have to be able to teach my kids. In order for you to feel like you can do anything, you got to be able to have that in your brain. You can't have it in your brain that there's some type of um, automatic disadvantage that you're going to have because of your skin color. You can't have that in your brain. What you need as a young person to really boost yourself and move forward, you have to believe that anything is possible and that you can do anything. So, one of the difficulties with being ultra liberal is that if you're black, you might end up putting that into your children or younger people's head to feel like, before they even start out the race, you already have a disadvantage. And they may not run as fast. They may not really run that race the way they need to run it.
A lot of, I guess, people, of the left, whatever, can kind of fall into that trap of thinking that, black people as a monolith need to be saved as like as a whole.
I have no shame about it. I have a savior complex as an older brother, and I will save you whether you like it or not. So
Wait a minute. Now, he's admitting that he has a savior complex. And truth of the matter is, this savior complex is not good because there's a disconnection between policies that actually aren't even helpful and that actually, in a lot of cases, keep the black community in bad shape.
I find that very offensive.
Yeah,
I find
it's
it
really
extremely,
insane.
it upsets me to hear that because we're just like you. We just have a different skin color. And to hear that you have to help me is offensive to me. I can do it on my own. You took it back to riots and so forth, and it makes it seem like the only way that we as black people can have a voice is by riots, and then you need to come along and you need to say, okay, poor little black child, let me help you, let me help you.
What it seems like to me when most people have savior complex, regardless of whom they're trying to save, it's like they're taking real pain and real trauma and using that as a way to push this political agenda, but also to alleviate themselves of whatever guilt that they feel unnecessarily. Like,
Oh, he just dropped another bar. So with the savior complex, yeah, it might be what he said. That's a great point about trying to alleviate some level of guilt, and also trying to push this agenda. And a lot of times, that's one of the problems I kind of have with the Democratic Party is that they take a lot of these things that have happened and they play on that, especially around election time, to get the votes. What a great panel. This was so interesting to watch. I just wanted to give some feedback on that. But black conservatives versus white liberals. This is from the Jubilee channel. A great panel. This happened about 6 months ago, it looks like. But just to hear different points of view as far as, you know, black conservative and white liberal and to hear their viewpoints. And I agree with the woman with the white shirt. I think that at the end of the day, I don't want to ever be seen as a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm not teaching my kids to be victims. Now, we are understanding what happened in this country. We understand history. And there's a duality as a black person to make sure that, you teach your children so they understand what happened in history, but you don't want them to carry the level of feeling like a victim because that is definitely a problem. And you don't want them to feel like they lost before they already started. So, you guys let me know what you think. I just wanted to drop some info and